Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good morning, Gina. Can you hear me?
Yes, good morning. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Very good, thank you.
Not a girl.
Oops. Dropped my earphone.
Wow, a lot of early birds today. Wow.
Oh,
I was gonna call you and ask if you wanted to test the digital agenda today.
I know.
It looks like you got it down.
It looks like I have it up. You can see the agenda.
Yeah, perfect.
Great.
Morning.
Good morning.
Everyone. Okay, time for a coffee. Be right back.
I'm with you.
Morning.
Good morning.
Hello. How are you guys? Monday?
Yeah. Halfway there.
A little too much to look up.
Almost.
Unsalted pork and lemon. Right.
Good morning, Mary. Good morning, Deb.
Hi, Angelo. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good
Good.
morning.
Hi, Deb.
Morning, Mary. Morning, Deb.
Hi, good morning.
How
Happy-
are
I
you?
finally get to see you. I haven't seen you. I was sick, I think, the last board meeting.
Where?
Yes. Good to
Happy
see you
spring.
as well.
Yeah, happy spring.
30 degrees.
I just came in from Chicago. It was freezing there. I had the American College of Healthcare Executives meeting. It was
Oh.
really cold.
At least it was face to face.
I know, right? It was, people were just completely overjoyed, Angela. I've never seen anything like it.
Oh, I'm sure. I went to
Yeah.
the movies for the first time in 3 years. I felt it.
That's awesome.
Well, I happen to be in Memphis and it is like 76 degrees and extremely humid.
Oh,
I'll take it.
Yeah, well,
I'll take it.
they're expecting tornadoes today, so we
I'll take
have.
it. Over 30 degrees, I'll take it.
Gina, what day did you send the agenda? I'm just looking for it on my other screen here.
I believe I sent that out on the 25th.
Okay, let me. Okay, I'm getting there.
Good morning, Rick.
Morning. I beat Brian.
Yeah, you did.
Ah,
Good morning, Kristen. Good morning, Kristen. How are you? It wouldn't be a meeting without Brian coming on last. Brian, are you there? Plenty of time, though. We have 120 seconds.
here is, Angelo, I think we're gonna go to Italy in May.
Are you going to pull it off?
I think so. So far, it's looking like it can happen. So
The numbers are, I know there's been an uptick, but I don't think they prevented any international travel.
yeah, no. So far, it looks okay. Our daughter actually just got COVID the end of last month. She was in Chamonix, France, and with like 16 people, and 13 of the 16 got it.
Mild?
She was pretty sick, even though vaccinated, double vaccinated and boosted. So it was a little scary, but you know, she's had to stay out of work. It took like 11 days before she tested negative. It took a long time.
Well, it's a good thing she's okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I lost a dear friend 2 weeks ago, 57
Oh,
years to COVID.
oh,
So,
I am so sorry.
I grew up with him, but he was a big anti-vaxxer. And
Oh,
he paid the ultimate price, unfortunately.
you know, yeah. Not good.
Ryan, art thou there? Earth to Caffarelli, come in, please.
I do not see him.
Did he say anything? He didn't contact me. Let me check my emails again.
No, I did not get any emails from him.
Do you want me to text him?
I'm doing it right now. Mo.
And Gina, that was a Hall of Famer list of non-resident.
Oh my God, the worst one ever, man.
No, it can't be the worst one ever.
Oh, there was a ton of denies on that one.
I think it's pretty close. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey,
my God.
Gina, there's a Brian on the attendee side. I hope that's not our Brian.
Oh,
Let me look.
Right,
Oh.
I'm gonna wait just a few minutes to, we still have a quorum, so I'll just wait a minute or two to see if Brian comes on.
Okay, the Brian on the attendee side does not have a last name, so I don't think so.
know.
And he's not raising his hand, so.
I didn't get an answer from Brian. He usually answers right away.
yeah, he does. Yeah. I wonder if he's on vacation.
Yeah, but he would have said something.
I know it's not like him.
All right, I'm going to give it a few more minutes before we start.
And Gina, should we touch base sometime, maybe just to find out on those Florida applications? Did they provide you with any additional information on the facilities?
No, I did send them the email about the discussion we had,
Yeah.
and they have not gotten back to me as of yet.
Okay, well, let's just wait. But like I say, when they're applying exclusively for compounding and it just speaks to the record keeping, I just, I think we have to do a little bit, ask a couple more questions on the facility. So yeah, let me know whatever you get back.
Yeah, I'm waiting on them. I have them out. All the ones
Yeah.
we had questions.
Yeah,
And
thank you. I know Heather and I used to,
I think Mary froze.
Mary, go sit by a fire. You're frozen.
we'd have these discussions all the time. Stay frozen.
You're good now.
You're
Okay.
back.
You're on pod.
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, I didn't feel comfortable just because some of those are exclusively compounding. So I just think we need a little more information.
All right, Brian didn't answer his texts, and I'm sure he's not getting it. So I'm going to officially start the March Pharmacy Commission meeting on March the 30th. Good morning, everyone. Just a little reminder, please mute your screens, mute your cell phones, mute your pagers until it's your turn to appear on the agenda and to appear before us. So let's start with attendance. Beginning to my left, Commissioner Kristen.
Kristen Linder, Commissioner.
Angelo DeFazio, Commissioner. I think I jumped my place, didn't I, Mayor? I apologize.
Mary Ann Guanti, Commissioner.
Richard Carberry, Commissioner.
Debbie Chisholm, Commissioner.
Gina Samples, Board Administrator.
Welcome, everybody. Let's get started with a couple of pharmacy remodels. Is Stop and Shop, 460 Elm Street, West Haven in the house?
We are.
Good morning, Mark. How are you?
Good, Angela, how are you?
Good to see you. I do not need to swear you in, but I will ask, because it is a remodel, will there be any terminal point of sale system, register, or computer that can access patient information that's going to sit outside of the demised pharmacy area?
No.
Very good.
And the one thing with this one, like I said, I brought it to you guys just because there's no increase in size. The main reason we're doing, well, I came to you guys anyways, is they're increasing the gate capacity. So they're increasing what the gate is going to cover, only because we've been putting in the pick point will call systems, the electronic bag systems. So this one originally had a locked will call that the gate covered, but because we're changing it, we had to increase where the gate covered. So the gate's going to encompass a little more area, but it's still the pharmacy. It just wasn't covered prior because it didn't need to be, but now it's going to be. So there's no internal changes within the pharmacy. It's just where the gate is going to just go out a little bit further.
Commissioner Carberry, Commissioner Chisholm.
Thanks, Chairman. Yeah, the drawing looks very good. Looks like the new points are a new immunization room.
So the immunization room is outside of the pharmacy perimeter. So it is it's a locked room. There's really nothing in it. Just going to do immunizations in there, obviously during the day.
Okay. And you're relocating a 3-foot gate, I see, from top of the drawing down to the bottom, to the left of the new point of sale area.
Correct.
And just the safe and the narcotic cabinets, are those changing
Nope,
locations?
nope. Everything within the perimeter of the pharmacy is not changing. It's just, they're just extending the gate. If you see the green line that runs outside the service counter,
Right.
that's the new extension of the gate. It's just gonna cover that service counter because the will call, which is, if you look at the main work counter that runs in the middle, on the left side of that is where the current will call is, and it's a locked, they're locked draws currently. Because it's gonna be open now, we extended the gate beyond that service counter. So it's well covered and now secured, obviously.
And nothing, safe's not visible from that new
Oh,
area.
safe is way in the back, right outside the bathroom.
Yep, I see it there. Okay.
And so the immunization room, you will not license as part of the pharmacy, is that correct?
Yes,
Okay, so you just want to make sure they don't leave any sharps containers in there.
Yep.
And looks okay to me, Rick.
Yeah, no other questions for me either. Looks fine.
Okay, any other questions? Very good, Mark. Thank you very much.
I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Yes, sir. Let's call Value RX Pharmacy Services, 54 Tuttle Place in Middletown, Connecticut.
Hello.
Jason Perudi. Hey, Jason, how are you?
Good, Angela. How are you?
Good, good. Same question. Will there be any point of sale system, any computer, register, or terminal that can be accessed outside the pharmacy department that can access pharmacy patients?
Nope. If anything, quite the opposite. Everything is going into the already internally secured pharmacy area.
Love to hear it. Commissioner Cartwright, Commissioner Chisholm.
Thanks, Chairman. Looking at this is kind of a give back proposal. So the pharmacy license square footage is decreasing.
Correct.
So you're going to be subleasing that space, I assume.
The property itself is actually being purchased by a new owner who's also going to be a tenant. It's Anderson Windows, coincidentally. Whatever they're buying the space for, they asked if they could take more space and we could give it to them, and we have a potential to decrease our rental fee with some space give back. So we have all this administrative space is the only space that we're giving back. Everything that's within the secured pharmacy area already is not being touched. They're adding demising walls to an existing demising wall that's already there. So that's where we are.
That's the only thing that's changing. Everything else, you're saying you're safe, all of that stuff is remaining in the same place.
Yep, control room staying put, the safes are staying put, the inventory location is staying put, the clean room is staying put. Any construction will be outside the existing walls as is. Nothing's going to happen on the interior part of the pharmacy as far as construction goes.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I don't see any issues with this at all. I mean, it's
excellent.
Any other questions? Jason, looks good. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
With only those two before us, I will accept the motion for Stop and Shop's remodel as it was presented. Do I hear a motion?
so moved as presented.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions or recusals? Hearing none, motion passes. Value RX Pharmacy Services, remodel as presented. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve as presented.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions or recusals? Hearing none, both remodels pass. Legal is our legal beagle Esquire, Michael Ando in the house. Gina, is he there?
I do not see him.
Hi, I am here.
Oh, there he is.
You know,
Apologize.
I paused there.
I was inches from saying I can play an attorney on TV. I can pull it off, Michael. I was that close.
I have every confidence you could. Do it right now.
Good morning, Attorney Ando. How's the
Good morning.
extended family doing?
Good, very well.
Good.
And that's a
Getting
little
any
different.
sleep? Getting any
Not a
sleep?
whole lot. Not a whole lot.
Boy, good, good. to hear.
Brain is around 90% sometimes, so that's enough to get through.
That's excellent. Well, welcome. And what do you have to tell us about case number 2019-1265? Almost 3 years old, it looks like.
It is, and there's a reason for that. This is actually a very positive case to be discussing with you all, and hopefully we can, keep that positivity going forward on it. This individual entered into an agreement with the commission in 2019. That agreement allowed them to secure a pharmacist intern license, a pharmacy intern license. So this is an individual who many years ago, well over a decade now, had surrendered a pharmacy technician license. They had undergone some treatment, drug and alcohol treatment in the intervening years. By the time that they came back to us in 2019, they had several years of complete sobriety and treatment under their belt. And Rick Carberry was our step-down commissioner in that initial meeting in 2019. And we, the department, the drug control division, and Rick Carberry felt that she would be a good person to give another shot to here. She had discussed at length her desire to go to pharmacy school, how it had been somewhat derailed, how she had worked very hard in large part to eventually secure that goal for herself. And it's been in the last 3 years of restrictions under this agreement, a very, very impressive outcome. And I don't say that lightly, and I don't frequently take that kind of position on these, but what I am requesting here today would be a modification to terminate this agreement so that this individual could proceed forward unencumbered on her pharmacist licensing, because we are now at that stage of pharmacy school in progress. So
just to be clear, Attorney Ando, so her technician license was under question, and that's what she surrendered. And now she's a pharmacy licensed intern who's looking to become a full-time pharmacist, and we are unencumbering the parameter of that technician license so that she can become a licensed intern. Is that correct?
Well, she is currently a licensed intern under this agreement. This agreement, and I'll just run through some of the details of the agreement so that we all have the same background.
Okay.
So in 2019, the commission voted to enter into an agreement with this individual. It was in the September meeting. So this was it would look like a fairly standard reinstatement agreement, really. It included a lot of the same testing for drug and alcohol, also treatment records, monitoring through the department, through the drug control division. It's typically a 5-year agreement. This one is the standard kind of breakdown of timelines. The timelines for testing and for treatment records do change, periodically based on the current best practices understanding of drug treatment. There are increased testing periods, and then there are other periods where it's down to less often, once a quarter instead of monthly, based on when relapses appear more likely to happen. This agreement would require the individual to tell any proctors that she currently has, any potential employers in anything surrounding the healthcare or pharmacy space about the presence of the agreement. It requires participation in a group like Pharmacists Concerned for Pharmacists, as well as individual treatment from some kind of a provider, be that a counselor or a therapist or a psychiatrist or what have you. Additionally, the quarterly reports submitted to DCP are reviewed by up until today, they were reviewed by our own Rick Brooks. I'm not sure what will happen to all of Rick's responsibilities, but I do want to spend a minute talking about the discussion that I had with him about this case as well. So he was reviewing these reports. He expressed to me that this individual was an incredible demonstration of the success of the program and what can be achieved when individuals commit themselves to working through past problems and also to becoming successful and succeeding in this field. So he had overwhelmingly positive remarks to make about this individual and about their success so far under this agreement. Let me just make sure I'm not missing anything else in that agreement that I haven't mentioned. It would just be other informational requirements, informing us if there was an arrest, informing us if there was some other kind of licensing action within a certain timeline, informing us if for some reason there was a problem with one of the drug screens or anything like that. We had absolutely no problems in the 3 years that this has been in effect. Well, almost 3 years that this has been in effect. So far, this individual has demonstrated pretty tremendous success. She is here today. She does want to speak with the commission. So I don't want to overstay my welcome. I'm going to have her speak, and then if we have gaps, I'm happy to jump in and fill in those gaps wherever it might be helpful.
Well, thank you for the timeline, Attorney Endo.
Attorney Endo, can you tell me who the step down commissioner is on this case?
The commissioner on this was Commissioner Rick Carbre.
Okay, thank you.
And since it's always anonymous at our board meetings, if she is here and would like to speak, that'll be fine, but it's not necessary, but it would be fine if she'd like to speak.
Okay. So, we have discussed that. I think I would invite her to speak now if she would like. If she has changed her mind about that, you could just let me know on the side if you want to.
It's completely up to her.
Hi, I'm Jillian Searle. It's very nice to meet you all.
Good morning, Jillian.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me. I just really wanted to come and thank you all for this amazing, amazing opportunity. I spoke at length with Mr. Brooks and Mr. Carbre and Mike Ando about the agreement. And I just wanted to again say hello to all the commissioners, DeFazio, Caffarelli, Carbre, Chisholm, Inguanti, and Linder, and to all the participants as well. So I prepared just a quick letter, essentially. So my name is Jillian Searle, and I'm currently nearing the end of my pharmacy curriculum. I'm graduating with a PharmD on May 14th of this year from the University of St. Joseph School of Pharmacy and Physician Studies. Becoming a pharmacist has been a long-term goal of mine, and despite my past mistakes, I'm humbly asking for the opportunity to pursue my professional career and my future aspirations in the field, unencumbered by past indiscretions. So I grew up in Farmington, Connecticut, which is a local suburb of Hartford. I was an all-state violist. I ran cross-country and track, and I received good grades. After graduating from Farmington High School in 2002, I attended Duquesne University to pursue my dreams of becoming a pharmacist. Admittedly, the transition was a tough one for me, and I did not finish college at that time. After returning home to Connecticut in 2004, I began working as a pharmacy technician at New Britain General Hospital, currently known as the Hospital of Central Connecticut. So after several years of work in the field and really unsure where I belonged or what I wanted out of my life, I fell in with the wrong crowd, and it took me several experiences of bad decisions, substandard living, addiction, and pain for myself and those closest for me to reach rock bottom. And this is somewhere physically, emotionally, and spiritually, I hope and plan never to be again. So through self-help meetings, intensive therapy and counseling, and years of self-evaluation and philosophical searching, I am very proud to be the person that I am today. And I believe that I can be a significant asset to my community and to all patients that are in need of my care. So I have faced and overcome adversity, but I do continue to work every day to become a better version of myself. I have learned the importance of humility, conscientiousness, and trust, along with the dangers of stagnation. I graduated in 2018 with a 3.97 GPA in Bachelor's of Science in Health Sciences degree from Goodwin University. And I'm graduating in the top 5 of my pharmacy class with a 3.94 GPA. So I believe that I can provide a unique perspective to the public health crises that are plaguing America. And I have used these past 3 years in pharmacy school to commit myself to the field and to my health and wellness in general. So I've spent 6 to 7 years now improving myself in every way possible to ensure my lifelong sobriety. So I believe that through reciprocity, I can make, and that I have made, a profound contribution to the healthcare field and to the state of Connecticut. I have great aspirations for my future, both personally and professionally. And I believe that granting my appeal for early graduation from the Health Practitioners Monitoring Program in Connecticut is essential to my goals. I was recently awarded an absolute pardon for 2 misdemeanors that plagued my name, and I aspire to work in the hospital environment where my colleagues' trust and faith is of the utmost importance. I'm a church-going, tax-paying, and hardworking and charitable individual who, because of my past, is a stronger and more resilient person. I do apologize and deeply regret my past actions, but I do, however, utilize my past experiences as a daily reminder to be grateful, modest, and wise. So I humbly ask that you grant my request to practice as a pharmacist without the shadow of my past providing any restriction over my license or any doubt over my name. I was lucky enough to be offered 12 interviews for residency positions recently, of which I matched with my #1 choice at St. Francis Hospital and Medical Center, where I start in July. Thank you very much for your time and consideration over this exceptionally important matter.
Jillian, I know I speak on behalf of all the commissioners that your transparency and your courage is unbelievable. It takes a lot of courage to get before us and be so transparent about your life and where you're headed. So we appreciate that. And with a last name like Searle, you're probably too young to remember, but also old people on the board. There used to be a pharmaceutical company named Searle, so you're in the right profession. So,
I've heard that before. That's pretty funny.
Is there any other comments or questions that the commissioners have for Attorney Ando, or because Jillian has been so gracious enough to appear before us for Jillian?
Mr. Chairman, if I could just make a brief comment.
Please do, Commissioner Carberry.
I just have to echo your thoughts. This was an amazing individual that we got to meet during the step down process 3 years ago. If you were to see her CV today, I've never seen the amount of recommendations, letters from faculty members, her list of leadership and professional memberships, community services. I mean, this is emblematic of a true professional. And so I just congratulate her on where she's come and where she wants to go. I mean, this has been the most impressive person I've seen on the step down in the 10+ years I've been on this commission. So obviously she speaks well of herself, and we're just really proud that she's handled this situation as well as she has, and has such a promising future ahead. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you for that, Carberry. Complete grace for sure. Any other commissioners have any questions or comments? Well, Jillian, I know a lot of players there at St. Francis Hospital, and Tara and the CEO are going to be happy to have you. Again, we appreciate your courage coming before us today.
Thank you.
Would you like to add anything, Attorney Ando?
No, I think I have pretty much covered everything that I would have said. Thank you. I just want to thank Commissioner Carberry for making his remarks, because I think that it was a very impactful couple of meetings with her, and I'm pleased that he expressed that. I think Rick Brooks felt similarly impressed, and he did ask me to communicate that as well to the commission. Otherwise, I would just reiterate that what we are seeking here today is to have this agreement modified by terminating it so that it would strip all of the encumbrances from her licensing as she does go on to apply for the pharmacist license itself.
I'd be remiss, Attorney Ando, not to mention Rick Brooks, who is retiring, the tireless work he has done in this arena. And there's no better send-off with an incredible success story like Jillian Searle's. So Rick's retirement and all the due diligence that he's done in the past in this program for years this is a shining moment for him, and I think the commission and the program in itself for these second chances. So with that, I will make the motion to accept the proposed resolution to terminate all restrictions and all encumbrances on Jillian Searle. Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Nay. And let the record show that Rick Carberry recused himself as the step down commissioner. Thank you very much, Jillian, for your courage today. Thank you, Attorney Ando. Is there anything else, Attorney Ando?
There are no other matters on the agenda. I do have a couple of just informational things. I know sometimes we like to discuss some of those things that we're sort of seeing. Yeah, I think I've mentioned in past meetings that we have been watching carefully the nature of errors that we're getting in. We're having a lot of errors that are, some of them might end up in front of the commission, actually, at the rate we're going. We're seeing a lot of errors that are being disputed as not errors that a pharmacist could have controlled. So we're dealing with a lot of these on a slightly more escalated level than we have in the past. Thing to keep in mind, I would tell pharmacists just, be open about problems like that you have and try to fix them rather than trying to avoid them, because they only get worse. But similarly, I do want to make one comment about a thing that we're seeing more of, and I'm sure you're all aware of this, surprise closings because of staffing issues, along with manager changes because of staffing issues. Please tell the commission. I really very much do not want to have to bring an action against anyone because they haven't informed the commission that they're a new manager or that an old manager left. We have some of these in process right now. We also have some cases of closings that the commission wasn't informed of in advance in process right now. It's much better to just send the email or form in than it is to deal with the back end, at which point it's a violation no matter how you cut it. There's really no two ways about it. We can have as many meetings as you want. We can have as much negotiation as you want. The violation is the violation. It's still there. There's no way around it at that point. So those are just things I wanted to comment on as trends and maybe hopefully have you, I'm sure you're already aware of them, but make pharmacists aware of them, especially new managers, so they don't end up having an unpleasant conversation because they think someone else told us or told the commission about their new manager position, and maybe that didn't happen.
Attorney Ando, I appreciate that. And it echoes what I typically speak about to the new managers. And unfortunately, some of it may fall on deaf ears, but this is one of the reasons why we've moved the managers after legal so that they can hear things like this, so that it resonates with them when they're in the role of being a pharmacist manager at these particular pharmacies. So I appreciate that very much. Anything else, Esquire?
No, that concludes legal for today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a great day, sir.
You too.
And on that note, this is where I get to test my wonderful linguistic skills of trying to pronounce some of these names. Let's get to first-time managers. All right. Now, as I said before, for first time, I'm not sure if I mentioned it, but first-time manager, we need to see you and hear you. So make sure your screens are up. So, and we'll start with Samson, or just let us know you're here when I say your name. Samson Ankomani.
Yeah, I'm here.
Very good, Samson. Thank you. Madison Bucas.
I'm here.
Matthew Carter.
I am here.
Kyle Dufault.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you. Janelle Green.
Here.
James Jakubowski. James? Do you see anyone on the other side, Gina, maybe?
Checking now.
James Jakubowski? Okay.
I do not see him.
Okay, come back to that one. Mohammed Kalam.
Good morning, I'm here.
Good morning, Mohammed. Samantha Keklik.
Good morning.
Good morning, Samantha. Brian Knight. I hear a lot of giggling. Please mute your screen. Brian Knight? No, Brian?
No.
Sarah Lander?
Hi, I'm here.
Thank you, Sarah. Good morning. Michelle Lee?
Hi, good morning.
Market 32, is that Price Chopper, Michelle? Market 32 Pharmacy, I never heard that one before. Michelle Lee, I said, okay. Matthew Pescatore.
Morning.
Good morning, Matthew. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Jane Satias. Jane Satias. Well, you can't say they got stuck in traffic like I used to say when they didn't appear. Jane Satias.
I do not see her.
Okay. Z Yahweh Wang.
Good morning, I'm here.
Good. Did I say that okay?
It's Xiaowei, but it's okay.
Xiaowei. Darn it. I even used a translator this morning for you, but I didn't get it. Thank you. Yan Wang.
I'm here.
Is there anyone that's here whose name I did not call? All right, good. I'm just going to go back to the ones that didn't answer one more time, just in case they're back on. James Jakubowski. Brian Knight. Jane Satias. Okay, we have 3 no-shows today. Well, good morning, everybody. You probably are wondering, why does a manager have to appear? Why do we do this here in the state of Connecticut? Well, you know, the pharmacy manager position, as you heard from Attorney Ando, is a position of responsibility. It's a position of leadership. You can create a wonderful culture. In today's workplace environment, how difficult it is. We know the pressures that the pharmacists are under. A good leader, a good manager can really change the workplace environment and make it a friendlier environment with your leadership and your culture. It's really important to be a good leader out there. I can't possibly go over all the rules and regulations that pertain to a pharmacist manager. So there is a website, it's actually a CE and it counts towards law too, that the UConn School of Pharmacy has put on, which is a wonderful CE for pharmacist managers. In fact, it's entitled A Constant State of Readiness. And what a better title over the last few years with COVID and everything that pharmacists have had to go through. That's a tremendous title, I thought. So you can find that at pharmacy.uconn.edu and search for that particular pharmacy manager law CE. But I want to go over just a few points of things that seem to raise their ugly head quite often here at the commission. First and foremost, as Attorney Ando reminded us, is hours. We're having issues with hours at pharmacies. We understand that there's a shortage out there. It's very difficult to get employees, both on the pharmacist side as well as the technician side. And I know a lot of pharmacies have changed their hours. That's something that needs to be reported to the Commission of Pharmacy and to Drug Control. It needs to be reported to us. Don't think that your owner of the pharmacy, your regional manager, your company is going to do that for you. Make sure you also follow up and make sure that that gets taken care of. Pharmacist managers have to work a minimum of 35 hours a week. We're finding with these closures, it's okay if your pharmacy is closed or they've been granted permission for lower hours because of the emergency orders that have been extended through June 1st, but they just have to be communicated to the Department of Consumer Protection. The other thing we're seeing is licenses expiring. As a pharmacist manager, make sure all your staff pharmacists are licensed correctly. Make sure all your technicians are licensed correctly. Make sure that they've followed up on their CEs, because we're seeing a lot of CEs, gaps in CEs, and we're not as lenient as we used to be on that, because there's really no reason not to have your CEs unless there's circumstances that dictate that. Tech ratios have always come up before the board, not as much lately because we have extended them through June to 4-to-1, but typically it's 2-to-1, 3-to-1 with a nationally licensed, and now it's up to 4-to-1. There is some bills going before our legislature now to make 4-to-1 permanent. that probably has a pretty good chance of passing. So in the future, it may be 4-1, but as of right now, we've extended a 4-1 ratio through June the 1st with the governor's emergency orders. A couple of things that we don't like to talk about: misfills. As you heard, Esquire, as the attorney Ando explained, that's something that it looks like we're going to see a lot of. And typically with misfills, listen, we've all made them. I don't think there's any commissioner that hasn't made a mistake while we've practiced our profession. It's how you handle that mistake and the quality assurance that goes along with that. Make sure your company has a good quality assurance plan. Make sure you know exactly what to do when there's a misfill, how to document that misfill. It's incredibly important because the misfill may not happen. You may not be notified of it the next day. It may take a month, 2 months to be notified. And if you didn't document it and you filled thousands of prescriptions along the way, you may not even remember it. So make sure that you follow your quality assurance and your documentation that your company has. And if it doesn't, make sure you get a quality assurance policy in place quickly so that you know what to do in terms of misfills. One of the other things that we don't like to talk about is diversion. You know, pharmacist managers, they are responsible for all the security of all the controlled substances to prevent diversion. So it could be a staff pharmacist, it could be a technician that makes the mistake. I want you to understand that you are responsible for that diversion. You're in charge, you're the manager. So put things into place to help you avoid any scheduled drug diversions. It could be simple things like the person that orders it on CSAUS is not the same person that checks it in. Become aware of what highly diverted drugs are. Everyone knows the opioids and everything, but there's a lot of non-C2 drugs that are diverted out there. The codeines, the phenergan with codeines, or even the somas that are out there. So be very familiar with what highly diverted drugs are and keep a very close eye on that. Come up with a system that works for you that you can trust as you go along to help prevent that diversion. Almost like a little trick. Come up with your own tricks to ensure that diversion isn't taking place. You know, I'm now going to turn it over to Commissioner Inguante to talk to you about the MedWatch program. Commissioner Inguante.
Thank you, Chairman. Good morning to all of you and congratulations on your leadership role. And as Chairman DeFazio spoke, with leadership comes great responsibility. What we like to remind you of is that there are certain tools that keep you current and are very easy to use. We like to recommend the FDA MedWatch system. You can sign up for those emails to be pushed to you. So when there's any type of concern or reports from the field about prescription drugs, over-the-counter drugs, nutraceuticals, all of that, it would come to you kind of ready reference. So that's something we just like to recommend. It looks like most of you are working for large chains, and I'm sure they have specific protocols and ways to give you these types of alerts. But again, it is your responsibility, and as a lifelong learner, you really need to own that, right? And so we just recommend you sign up for these emails, and it's super easy and just another tool in your toolbox. So, you know, best of luck to all of you. And if you have any questions, you know how to find all of us. We're all on the website. Thank you.
Commissioners, do you have any questions of these young, eager leaders of tomorrow? Do any of the first-time managers have any questions for us?
Commissioner DeFazio, I do want to let you know that Jane Satias is here and present.
Oh, good. James, did you hear our? Good, very good. Okay, good. So we have only 2 no-shows this morning. Is that correct, Gina?
Yes.
Very good. All right. Any questions from the first-time managers? I know you're all shy. Hearing none, I'll just leave you with this. Just remember that your company policy or the company that you're working for's policy if it disagrees with state policy, it's the state policy that's going to count. So your company or your manager or your regional manager, or your boss or the owner may ask you to do something, but if it contradicts state policy that's going to count. So use good judgment out there and have a great day.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on.
you.
Miscellaneous matters. We have quite a few today. Connie Levy, Levy. Is Connie here?
Yes, I'm here.
Good morning, Connie.
Hi, how is
How are
everybody?
you? Good. So I know the commissioners have had a chance to read the letter that you provided, and I don't think we need to hatch the letter here. But I will give the opportunity for you or the commissioners, if you have any questions of Connie. I feel pretty good about extending a time period for this particular pharmacist concerning her CE. Do the commissioners have any questions for Connie? Connie, do you have anything to say if you'd like?
I would like to thank everybody for actually taking the time to take this into consideration. I wanted to propose, I was doing some calculations while listening as well. That's what us pharmacists do, right?
Yeah.
And going over I don't know if this would be considered, but going over all of my Cs from 2020, 2021, and what I have done this year. I do have a few extra live hours that I did complete. I have some, and I would just ask, would you be willing to take into account any extra hours that I've completed since I've been a pharmacist, or would I just complete what was required of 2021?
Yeah, I'm sorry, we don't have that carryover rule.
No, but no, I didn't.
Yeah, that's a good idea. What I'd like to ask you is, because it looks as though, and please correct me, very nice detailed things. It looks as though that for the year 2021, which is really the only year that's in question because 2022 hasn't finished yet, you had, is it 7.5 hours?
Yes, that is correct. No, I'm sorry, 7.25. 7, I have it all right here. I apologize. 7 point, where am I right now? For 2021, 7.25 complete.
Okay.
For the home hours, I completed 5 live hours for 2021.
Which suffices the rule.
Yes,
Right.
and for live hours is, sorry, I apologize. That's what's required. I have the report right here. 1.25 live hours. So I'm missing 3.75 live hours. And unfortunately, I am missing for home hours. I'm usually much more organized than
Oh, that's
that.
okay. I see. You completed 6 home hours.
Yes, and I
Okay.
guess it would be, I'm missing 4.
So you need a total of
7.75.
7.75 hours
And I
to
do
reach your 15 hours, of which you still need 3.75 live hours, and your 1 hour of law I'm not sure if that's completed or not. That's not broken down here.
I believe I may have completed the law hour. I do apologize for this oversight. And this is very unlike me, so I appreciate you taking it into consideration.
Yeah, reading your letter, and I don't want to hatch it out here in this public forum, but it's very transparent, and again, show a lot of courage what you've been through. We'd like, I'm speaking as the chairman now, and the commissioners, this is open for discussion, but what we've done in the past is allowed you to make up for the hours in the previous year through a period of time that we feel is appropriate. Since you already have so many hours done for 2022, I think it was 13.5.
That's correct.
Do you think you can fulfill the requirements of last year and this year if we extended it through the end of 2022? Would you be able to do that through 12/31/22, make up the 7.7 hours, 7.75 hours for 2021 and the 1.5 hours left for 2022?
Undoubtedly, I would be able to do that. 2022, that was my aim, to try and just finish it.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And, I
Yeah,
would.
because you made such a valiant effort, I think in 2021, under the circumstances of your letter, it shows that you gave it the old college try to get them done in time. I'd like to make a motion, if the commissioners would like, and then any open discussion, to allow Connie Levy to extend the fulfillment of 2021 and 2022 through the end of 12/31/2022. Any discussions from the commissioners? Hearing none, I'll accept a second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, abstentions, recusals, all set. Connie, thank you very much and good luck to you.
I thank you very much. I just do them in sequence and they add on to 2022.
As long as by January 1st of
They're all done.
2023, if you have a total of 30 hours, of which 10 hours are live and 2 hours are law related, you will have fulfilled what we asked of you today.
Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate this. Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you, Connie. Good luck to you.
Today.
All right. All right, moving on with the miscellaneous matters. Let's see here. Shared pharmacy services. This is really nothing to vote on. It's just informational. We kind of spoke about this back in November. I know Rod put this on the agenda. You guys had enough time to take a look at it. It's more informational than anything. You know, I think it does its job. It really does, of clarifying shared pharmacy services and central pharmacy services. And it clarifies it a little bit. And what it really does is it puts a minimum requirement on all channels and variables in that process. And I think it's done a pretty good job. And I think we could expect things like this in the future, because as you heard Attorney Ando speak and reading through the new regulations, we're going to have to come up with ways that not only have great gatekeeping abilities, but ways to relieve some of the traditional pharmacy pressures from pharmacy, and to allow pharmacists to do other positive patient outcome type activities that aren't tied into the prescription dispensing aspect of it. And I think this helps to relieve some of that, especially with all the workplace environment issues that are out there that we hear of. And, you know, us as a commission, we really can't do very much in terms of employer-employee relationships, because we're not that type of commission. But maybe we can help come up with ways like these new regulations to relieve some of that pressure on the pharmacist, but still done with the highest quality assurance. And I think this new regulation has done that. So Rod just put it on the agenda for us to take a look at, to make sure we're aware of it. And I think it does a good job, because it also gives agents the ability to go in and have an audit trail for that type of quality assurance. So I don't know if there's any discussion or if anybody wants to.
Chairman, I have a couple of questions. So right now, myself and Agent Rachel Brown, we're in the MPJE period. We do this twice a year. And so with this, it looks like this was officially updated and implemented in November. Going forward, we just concluded our question writing. So we did not write to this competency, and Connecticut never had central pharmacy type of this structure. So there haven't been, questions of this nature on our MPJE. So in our September session, we'll definitely capture this. And now will Gina, Gina, will you be putting this on the website, on the front page, the homepage of the Department of Consumer Protection of the pharmacy, where we see other updates?
I'll have to check with Rod on that, and I'll see if we need to put that up on the website.
Okay.
I know it is presently on the website.
It's in the law part of it, but you know how on
Right.
the home, because I think, like I say, we'll catch this in the September session for the MPJE part of it. But I think if we put it there, I think that'll also, you know, call more attention. We want people to succeed when they take that test. You know, it's not a trick test. And so I just want to make sure we don't change any questions. The other thing, Chairman, is if any of those executive orders do change and become permanent, like with the technician and stuff, I will have to get with the folks at NABP and clean up our MPJE, because obviously right now our questions are to our current regulations.
Right. Okay. Yeah, very good. And if anything passes, Mayor, you know, I don't think it'll be enacted until.
Right. And that's kind of how we always have done it, and in the past under John's leadership as well. But, you know, again, the only reason I call this out is because every year for whatever, the 15 or 16 years I've been doing this, we always have a bit of a gap in that competency, because this is an NABP competency, central fill. So that was just my only question. I just want to make sure we're all on the same page. So thank you.
Excellent. Any other comments or questions or suggestions from any of the commissioners? Excellent. Also, two things that just came to my attention. One, Jane Satias live asked questions. I guess she was having trouble with her computer. Thank you. I'm sorry for that. So allow her as being present, please, Gina. So that only leaves one person that did not appear, and that would be Brian Knight. Is that correct, Gina?
No, we have Brian Knight and Mr. Jaku. Oh, I'm going to mess up his name. I apologize.
Oh, okay. So
James Jacobus.
Okay.
Jakubowski.
Yeah, Jakubowski.
Thank you.
So he was here or wasn't here?
He was not present. He's not
Okay,
here.
so we do have two. Okay, so Jane Satias is the only one who showed up. Okay, good. Thank you, Gina.
You're welcome.
For correcting my errors. Appreciate it. See how quickly you've already done that. See, you already catch all my mistakes, just like Heather did all these years. You're great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Right. And also, Brian Caffarelli did get to me. As we know, he's involved in the legislative process, and he's in committee meetings, and he got so busy with his committee meetings that in his mind, he wanted to notify us that he wouldn't be able to make today's board meeting. He volunteered to get on a little while ago, and I told him that that wouldn't be necessary since we're through most of the meeting now. So just to let the commission know that Brian did get back to me, and we appreciate that. Since I'm dying to see everyone, Gina and I were talking about future board meetings and doing them live now. However, there are some issues with our venue. So I wanted to put this on the agenda for us to discuss on what, the commissioners feel we should do in terms of continuing Zoom, for how long, going live, meeting room. So I'm going to turn it over to Gina to explain how our venue may not be available. So Gina, if you'd like to let us know about your scheduling.
Okay. So just to let you know, I did a little research on our rooms right now. I guess in the past, normally you met in C and D, which is the big conference rooms. Presently, those are booked out into with our HR retirees. We do not have access. They've actually taken them off the schedule. So I have been informed that they will be available. They will go back online as of July. So, I've asked the planning coordinator to please let me know so that I can get on there and get them scheduled as quickly as possible. We are able to hold our meetings in conference room B, which is, I guess, set up as a board room, which I believe you have met there in the past as well. And I did find out if there was any cap on, people attending and, and there isn't. There is no cap at this point.
It's a small room.
It's a small room, yes. I mean, if it got overcrowded, you'd probably only have standing room only. So, but I did tentatively book it just in case you want to start live in May or June, or if we're going to stay in Zoom until August, because we don't have a board meeting in July.
So the question really is because we could we access the big room on a day other than the last Wednesday of the month sooner or no?
No.
Okay.
So I did look at other available dates, and there's really nothing unless we would change our hours to late after hours, like after, pretty much the work day, which I think.
Gee,
yeah.
that cuts into happy hour. Absolutely. Not.
So I was thinking we wouldn't want to do that. We don't want to change things up too much.
So I guess the question before us, and open discussion, this is really just to try to iron out a schedule for the rest of the year that works for us, is do we go with the smaller room live? I think we're all in agreement that maybe for next month we should just do Zoom one more time for April, right? March, April. And then starting in May, do we go with the small room and go live in the small room until we can access the big room, or do we stay Zoom until we access the big room? This is really open for discussion. Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, I have a question. So when we do eventually go live, will we still have a Zoom option for maybe those who will be, that may be immunocompromised and still don't want to come out because they may be at risk? Do you know if that's going to be possible?
That's a great question, Deb.
If I could speak to that, as far as Commissioner Chisholm, the option for B, I am not positive that we're able to use the Zoom because it has to coordinate with the screen. We need to be able to have the equipment in that room. And as far as I know there's a projector in there. I'd have to do some research to find out for sure if we're able to use that. C&D already has that capability. So that would be the problem with doing it. That would be a hybrid option.
I would vote for waiting until August, because I do think there are going to be a subset of people that may not be able to be present. And we don't want to put them at risk or have them not attend a board meeting. I look at Connie Levy, and if we had someone who had a situation like that, that may be immunocompromised, maybe they're getting treatment for something, we want them to be able to come before us and have an open forum. So I think when we have the capabilities to allow people to do that, I think that's when we meet in person.
Yeah, I support what Debbie's saying. And also, I'm on a couple of other, boards and volunteer boards. And what's come out of this is that the Zoom has afforded, again, people who have other conflicts and, can't be in person. So if we go in person in August, which I think it'll be great, to be with all of our, co-commissioners and everything. But, for some of our attendees, some of our public attendees, if we always had that Zoom option, Angela, then we can see them. They don't have to phone in, or I think it's going to add, another very positive dimension to accessing us,
Mary, I know you want to Zoom because you want to be in Rome to Zoom, or you want or Rick and I want to be on a golf course in the warm so we can sneak out to the clubhouse and Zoom and put up a background. I know where you guys are going with this. No, I know, and that's why I wanted to put this on here, just to discuss this, whether or not we go live. If there was a way to do a hybrid in that B room I would have probably said, let's go live as soon as we can. And again, there is an uptick that looks like is happening. So I don't mind doing Zoom until at some point, but I'd like to get back to live at some point. And I think that getting back to live with the hybridization of Zoom available is the best thing to do. So from what I'm hearing, Kristen, I don't know if you have any comments, or Rick, or is to stay Zoom until room C and D is available on our dates. Because the other question was, do we change our dates to meet the C and D room? And to be honest with you, I think that all of us are programmed, even administrative people in the industry that come before us are programmed last Wednesday of the month, last Wednesday of the month, last Wednesday of the month. And that's kind of worked out pretty well, because I know the commissioners, I know I do, and I'm sure you also do, we kind of work our schedules around that last Wednesday of the month. So to change that now kind of may create conflicts. So I didn't want to go there. So I think that we Zoom until room C and D is available for the last Wednesday of the month to fit our schedule. And then when we do that Zoom, maybe from this point forward, we go to a hybridization of having Zoom available in that room at all times in the future. Unless it turns into an empty room, that we don't want that either. So, all right.
I think what you're going to find when you do that, though, most of your first-time managers are still going to Zoom.
I agree, and I really don't want that, Rick.
No, I know. I understand. That's why I'm bringing it up, because obviously if they can Zoom and don't have to travel into Hartford,
right?
Sometimes traveling 45 minutes to an hour,
right?
They're going to opt to Zoom automatically.
I agree, and that could be a fallout that we don't want. So,
yeah, I think it goes both ways, because right now with the staffing shortage, I mean, they may not have an option but Zoom, because they can't get coverage to come all the way to Hartford. So you may have some challenges to people being first-time managers. But I think we can do some things, if the person is able to come, and I think Gina can pretty much sort of manage that to some degree. Someone is in New Jersey and they're, coming before us for something, then they probably should Zoom. We don't want them necessarily coming in. But if you're working in, the greater Hartford area or in Connecticut, I think live is preferred, and then there could be an exception for Zoom. So I think we can work that out. And by August, I think we should be in a much better place in terms of staffing, COVID, fingers crossed. It's just, we never know these days, but I think we have some time to work that out.
And we could always take it away at some point in time.
Exactly.
No more Zoom.
Yeah.
Gina, do we have the last Wednesday of the month starting in August?
No, because presently the calendar is off schedule. I can't even, they've completely taken it offline.
Okay.
So I've talked with the coordinator.
Through the August meeting will be Zoom.
Correct. No, right, until August. Right?
Right, through the August meeting. So
starting
in September, we may be live. With September.
Well, in July, I can schedule. So in July.
We don't have a meeting in July.
Oh, sorry. I mean, for my end, I can schedule the
calendar. Okay. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Right.
In July, the slots become open.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let's all agree then to, I don't think I need a vote for this, but let's all agree to go Zoom as we presently are through the August meeting, and Gina will update us in the August meeting of our availability for September, October, November, December. Good?
Sounds good.
Great.
Okay. Great. Okay, that's done. Now back to ordinary business. Commissioner Inguante, request for non-resident pharmacy approvals. I can see you've been very, very busy, and again, we tremendously appreciate all the hard work you did on this.
Oh, thank you. Thank
Deny
you.
is everywhere, so why don't you fill us in?
Oh my gosh, yeah, this was quite a task this time, but you know, since we didn't meet last month, it was somewhat expected, but there were 29 that had to be reviewed this time. I think you're going to see a trend here, though, you know, so much non-sterile compounding, so much. And typically I just want to call out the state of Florida. They have a very nice assessment tool that their inspectors use. And however, they really are silent on the physical plant operations of the compounding. They did, you know, they talk about the documentation and so forth. And so Gina's doing more investigation with them, because if they don't have, you know, 795 inspection and compliance, we'll definitely have to require that, because that's what we require. That is our standard. We require that of the Connecticut ones. You'll also see there's a few on here that were denied because of, well, certainly violations and missing data, but because of physician ownership. So we need to get those affidavits. However, the Mount Sinai in Manhattan, they did a nice job, because they sent everything in with the affidavit saying, you know, their physicians will not be prescribing or for the Connecticut residents. But I think that's really everything. There was quite a bit to review this time. And some of these applications are, you know, in excess of 30 pages long. So there's a lot of data here. But that is my whole report. And if anyone has any questions, I'm happy to answer them at this time.
No, again, thank you for all the work. Just wondering if there'll be a lot more non-resident pharmacy applications because of our shared services and our new central models.
Yeah, we had talked about that. I told them, I think this is going to be, you know, when the floodgates will open for sure. Yeah.
Any other questions for Commissioner Inguante? Hearing none, I'll accept the motion to approve the non-resident pharmacies.
Move to accept.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions or recusals? Motion passes. Very good. Very good. Very good. What's next? What's next? Oh, approval of commission pharmacy minutes for January. I'm sure you had a chance to take a look at all of them. Any omissions, errors, corrections that need to be done? Hearing none, I'll make a motion to accept the minutes for the February meeting. Is that correct? February, March? No, the January. January. Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, abstentions, recusals. That's it. Thank you, guys. I'll take a motion for adjournment.
Move to adjourn.
I will second it. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
There's no nays. Have a great day. Thank you, guys. Gina, wonderful job
Everybody.
on your first solo, baby.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good job, Gina.
Good job, Gina.
Good job, Gina.
Beautiful.
Thank you very
Way
much.
to go.
Thank you, everyone. Enjoy your
Thank
day.
you.
Thanks, everyone.
Everybody have a good day.
Thanks, guys. Bye, Mayor. Bye, Deb. Bye, Kristen. Bye, Rick.